is on, whatever. First off, I'd like to say we got a new homemade stand. Alright, ignore the little bit of mess you saw. And I'm finally proud to announce that I have a new gun out. Again, finally. Maybe. Okay. Alright, hold on. So, anyway, before I was interrupted slightly. Bam. Fuck. Sorry. AR-15 just scared me. Let's see. Hold on. You know what? Hold on a moment. Okay, well, I'm back. I wanted to see if I could get some footage of the AR-15, but I couldn't. Because eventually my dad actually called me to, well, he basically wanted me to, he basically wanted to show off because we have company. So he goes, he calls me to bring it back into the house, and he goes, as I'm down there, he goes, "It's still locked and loaded," and then, you know, there I am clearing the gun, in front of company. So, let's see, iron sights. The flash is going to make this difficult, so I'm going to do my best to cover that up. There you go. They're a little bit high, but I had to make this one higher because this rear sight was poorly made, but, you know, I like the gun. Right here it looks decent. Right here's where it begins to fail. This new stand isn't as flimsy. I made it extremely quickly because I lost the old one. So, magazine, now this actually has quite a few features. So, magazine release works. It doesn't return by itself, but it serves a function. So I pull on the magazine base, nothing, okay? Push on the magazine release, comes straight out. Now, this side actually has the correct witness holes, okay? This side, I did not do them correctly, and this is to add support because there's this big cut in the cardboard when I made this. So, let's see, what else do we have that's functional? The safety is much better than my old 1911. As you can see, it actually slides up into its position, and it will stay right there, and it's not going to freely swing around because it actually goes where it's supposed to. So, now actually I'm covering up a lot of the gun by holding it like you should hold a 1911 type pistol, so I'm going to hold it improperly by under here, and that's why I always flick up the safety, because I don't know what I'm doing. I've later found out. Slide lock does indeed work, as does the slide. The serrations I actually did differently than usual. I cut a big slot and I layered like 6 times these pieces of cardboard over and over again. Now it's a little dirty, you can see all the glue glimmering, but you know. Simple paper tube for the plunger. And something I learned is that if the hammer is not cocked, and this goes for every gun, but I didn't realize it also went for pistols too, you cannot put the safety on. So this, it's not going nowhere. Now it can. I guess, oh my god, this is what I get for living in Ohio, because I just degraded my grammar quality. Oh, and I forgot something. I forgot a bit of detail. As you can see right here, this is a curve that's cut into the grip panel, and I forgot to do it on this side. I'm sorry. I was excited because I thought I finished it, but I didn't. Let's see. Of course, the hammer I did showcase does work. We got a small amount of detail. Here is the little cap for the extractor. Now, of course, the slide does indeed work. So you can see that again. Well, what if I turn the light on? Oh, actually, that looks better. Alright. I'm trying to get closer. Oh, I have a great idea on how I can get closer. Alright. Just a moment. That did not work as well as I thought it would, but it worked better than what we have currently. So, but yes, the slide does indeed work. I mean, it gets a little bit hung up on this sometimes, so that's why it's bent. I'm not gonna lie, my guns always have imperfections. And as you can see, I actually have a guide rod, right? You can see the guide rod, and of course, the exposed barrel. So, and sometimes it'll get hung up on the hammer if the gun's not straight up. Of course, the slide lock does indeed work in more ways than one. So if I make sure the hammer's out of the way, I can pull it down. Bam. Now, I tried to do this differently, but I didn't get it just right. It's still difficult to grab onto, but it has this, like, kind of... It's pointed right here in the middle, but right there it has a slant, and I tried to replicate that. I didn't do too well for actually being able to reach it with my right hand, but it's there. Also, by accident, okay, I was able to do some realistic thing. So, say you're loading, okay, with a real gun, you can pull back the slide, alright, and it'll drop. I can't do that with any other real... I haven't seen that been done, but I can do it. And I'm glad that worked out. Now, if I can get a left-handed view in here, oh crap, it's difficult. Of course, we got the sights again. The left side, as you can see, it's messy. My guns are always messy, but they're there. Oh, of course, we have a functioning grip safety, which looks best on this side because I accidentally cut too much on this side. And I'll show you how that returns later. As you can see, I actually did the wrap around grip panels. So there's one grip panel here, one grip panel here, but I forgot to do the screws too. Damn it. I forgot a lot of things. I forgot some stupid details, but they're not important, I guess, so you know. But they are one attached piece because in the middle there's finger grooves. So these finger grooves are attached to the grip, and I really like the way they came out. So they feel very nice in the hand because this is cardboard, you know. It was just right. Okay, I didn't do that right. And of course, if you want to see what's going down underneath, pull this out. And this right here is a little rail. So that's what's running that. There are rails here to grip onto that. So you probably saw those. We have a skewer holding in a blue rubber band, which is very nice. I'm more responsive when it's not riding on a rail. There's the hole that the this piece is basically keeping the whole gun together. So now I wanted to make sure I finished the functionality of the slide before I glued this on the guide rod, because I glued it because it wouldn't return by itself any other way because I didn't have a spring on it. If I had a spring on it, it would work a lot better, promise me. But you know, you could see it go forward and come out there. So let me see if I can get a really nice view of that. So just slides right through very nicely. So that's nice, obviously. And of course there's some modification done to the base so that it would stay in the gun properly. And now I have to place it on the rails, push it in carefully. I like to actually pull back the slide a little bit to give it some tension while I do this. Let's just replace that. Push it all the way through. Bam. Alright, so that should be ready. Nice. Hold on a moment. Alright, here we go. Oops. Ah. Yeah, there's a few different ways you can cock the slide of a weapon, and apparently it keeps getting hung up on the hammer and I'm not noticing. So, what else do we have? I'm forgetting. Okay, so if I remove the pin for the safety, which is attached to the safety lever, so here's a close-up of that. And now this will fall out. I used this piece of a credit card, which wasn't used. I mean, it wasn't a credit card, I guess. It was a weird phone card thing. So it applies tension. So it's kind of realistic in a sense, because the 1911 uses a large metal plate as a spring, and there's notches cut into it, and there's a few bends, so that in the rear of the gun. Now this is called the mainspring housing. This piece of paper here is a pin for it to be held into the gun. And I kind of added a bit of detail on that. And what happens is, if the hammer has a bar extending downward into the gun, which affects the sear, there's a sear on it for the trigger, and the grip safety, which is actually held in by the thumb safety, is indeed affected by the third and final cut and bend. So, and the mainspring housing, like I said, holds in that mainspring, which is a sear, technically. Of course, I like how the magazine kind of lies flush, so you think it's not there, but it's there. Eventually, I'm going to develop a box for this, maybe. I don't know. You know what? Forget that. I'm going to make a box for the Luger P08 when I make that one, because it's a neat little officer's pistol, I guess. I don't know. Or was it? I forget. I don't know. It took me a moment. So anyway, I really, really like how this came out. Expect a video soon, probably in a couple days, because I think I'm done with this, really, where I just add the Colt Defender logo. I fix a detail right here, and I add all 4 screws. So basically just some detail additions, but I really liked how this came out. It is definitely a very good 45 caliber Colt Defender. Oh, can I line up the shadow iron sights? I can see that, but can you? Oh, you can. Whoa. That's neat. Oh, I lost it. There it is. Excuse. Wait, what? So yeah, the serrations actually do feel nice, and they are a grippable surface too. So, you know, besides the iron sights and how messy the gun looks, I like everything about it. You know, it feels good in the hand. For the most part, it looks good, and it's just overall very nice. And I love how this came out. And so, it was difficult. I'm not gonna lie, it was decently difficult for small parts of this. So for the very small pieces, like this trigger, it took me forever to get a final design for this, and it doesn't even look that good. But, you know, the magazine release was a struggle to get to work properly, and it's definitely the cleanest magazine release I'll ever have on a pistol. So you can see how that gets affected there. I really like how the base plate for the magazine came out. And so, of course, the magazine is a bit shorter, and I didn't put any feed lips on it. This was for one simplicity's sake, and it's also shorter so that it doesn't interfere with the slide, because as you can see, it's already getting cutting it close there. So overall, I really like how this came out, especially the hammer. I mean, if that hole was a little bit wider, it would definitely look better. But, you know, I really love how this project became. And so, I don't know. It's just something satisfying. Really, I don't know. It just, I feel this good every time I finish the gun. So, you know, bang, 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 bang. So yeah, oops, gotta reload, my boys. So anyway, I hope you're having a fantastic day, because I spent hours on this, and it was definitely worth it. So, as always, I hope you cringed. I hope you enjoyed. And, I guess you should have a great day now. Is that about it? Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, nice.